and welcome. You're watching The World Report. Well, let's just talk about our first story, and that is US President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky has claimed that progress on Ukraine's peace plan. This is after a meeting that took place at Mar-a-Lago. Trump has said that land disputes remain a sticking point in the negotiations between Russia and Ukraine. Now, Trump and Zelensky both acknowledged thorny issues that remain, including whether Russia can keep Ukrainian territories that it right now controls. Now, Trump insisted he believed that Putin still wants peace, even as Russia launched another round of attacks on Ukraine.
I think you can say 95%, but I don't like to say percentages. I just think we're doing very well. We could be very close. There are one or two very thorny issues, very tough issues. But I think we're doing very well. We made a lot of progress today, but really we've made it over the last month. This is not a one-day process deal. This is very complicated stuff. But I think when the president says 95, I think, could be close to 95%. Yeah.
Anticipate going to Ukraine if you can get to an agreement?
You're welcome.
I know.
Always.
So I'm not sure that it would be really necessary. But if it would help save 25,000 lives a month or whatever it may be, I would certainly be willing to do that.
Now, hours after Bangladesh's National Citizen Party, the NCP, announced its decision to join the Jamaat-e-Islami-led alliance ahead of the general elections coming up next year, now triggering an internal drift, the party convener Nahid Islam clarified that the tie-up was purely electoral and not rooted in ideological alignment. Meanwhile, protests demanding the justice for the killing of the student leader Osman Hadi continues, and it has continued for 3 consecutive days as the Inqilab Moncha has now stirred. This is, what is really rocking Bangladesh at this particular point in time, and NDTV continues to track all the latest developments from Bangladesh. It's my colleague Ankit Tyagi getting us this special report.
Bangladesh on the edge. Tensions rise. Students continue to swarm the streets.
This is the Shahbag intersection in the heart of the capital of Bangladesh, Dhaka. And this intersection also has become the rallying point for the supporters of Osman Hadi, the young leader of the Inqilab Manch, who was attacked on 13th of December and then died on the 18th. Since then, this place has become a rallying point for his supporters.
A key intersection blocked in Dhaka, a symbolism of Bangladesh's current situation.
This intersection also signifies the very crucial junction, the intersection, the precipice where Bangladesh is standing at this moment. His supporters have completely been, in fact, for the last few days protesting here, and the crowd keeps increasing as we speak. You will see all across young students, those who have come out in support of Osman Hadi.
The Yunus government under constant threat. Student voices rally against the establishment.
They have put the government of Mohammed Yunus on notice. They have said that if very quickly their demands are not met, they have been shouting justice, then of course this protest will move from here and will go across to the capital, will go to the residence of Chief Advisor Mohammed Yunus, and the students will once again show their anger.
The protesters remain stern over their demands.
3 demands have been met. 1, a very special judicial commission and speedy trial for Osman Hadi within 30 days. Apart from that, they have also said that there should be monitoring by international investigating agencies, and they have also called for the conspirators, those who they believe are from the Awami League, the party of Sheikh Hasina, the former Prime Minister who's fled Bangladesh and stays in India. They should be brought to justice.
Anti-India sentiment grows in Dhaka. No end to atrocities in Bangladesh.
There have been a lot of anti-India sentiment here because of Sheikh Hasina, who lives in India at this moment. The police today in Dhaka did a press conference where they have said that 2 of the killers or conspirators of Osman Hadi's killing have fled to India, and they are in touch with the authorities in India to try and bring them back to Bangladesh. This is a special report coming in from Dhaka with my colleague Momin Ankityagi TV.
Now, amid growing tensions with Japan and following a major US arms sale to Taiwan, it is China that's launched a major military drill that is taking place around Taiwan. A move aimed at the encircling and blockading. As far as the island nation is concerned, Taiwan has condemned the drills, deploying troops and missile systems to monitor the situation, with the focus really being the forces are on high alert at the moment. Visuals show Chinese jets and warships conducting live fire drills. This is deploying troops, warships, fighter jets and artillery for its Justice Mission 2025 exercises. This marks China's 6th major round of war games since 2022 and follows growing pressure over Beijing's territorial claims after Japan suggested any Chinese attack on Taiwan could trigger a military response from Tokyo.
海空战备警巡，夺取综合制权、要岗要域风控、外线立体涉阻等科目，建基多项抵近台岛、诸军兵种联合突击，旨在检验战区部队联合作战实战能力。这是对台独分裂势力和外部干涉势力的严重警告，是捍卫国家主权、维护国家统一的正当必要行动。
持台海与印太和平稳定是国际社会高度的共识。中国解放军在我国周边实施针对性的军事演习，不仅粗暴破坏了台海以及印太区域的安全稳定现状，更是对国际法与国际秩序的公然挑战。对于中国当局无视国际规范，以军事恫吓手段威胁周边国家，我国表达严厉的谴责。
Now, in a shocking incident coming in from New Jersey, 2 helicopters airlifting patients collided in mid-air and crashed on a Sunday. Videos show the chopper spiraling out of control after the crash and thick black smoke billowing into the sky, with flames visible at the crash site as the police and the fire crews as well as paramedics rushed in. While one chopper was completely engulfed in flames, the other crashed into a nearby forested area. One person has been killed in the incident, while another remains critically injured. Now, it's Sal Celipino who owns the cafe. This is very close to the airport area. The pair frequented, they had been visiting that restaurant frequently. The pair dined at his cafe and he had watched them take off.
It was shocking.
Thanks,
Still shaking.
You're welcome. Good to see you. Take care.
That happen. They were just at our cafe having breakfast. They're regulars. They come in every week or every other week. They fly in together.
Sure.
They seem to be very nice people. They're very kind to all of the workers, the staff, and all.
And US President Donald Trump is due to meet Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and that's going to be taking place at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. They aim to boost a US-brokered ceasefire in Gaza, which faces challenges as it looks to move into a more complicated second phase. Challenges in the next phase of the ceasefire include the deployment of an international stabilization force and a technocratic governing body for Gaza. Additionally, the disarmament, this is going to be taking place as far as the disarmament of Hamas and further Israeli troop withdrawals are concerned from the territory are some of the other challenges that they're facing.
With that first phase nearly, Americans are eager to move on
to the ceasefire's second and more complicated phase. That includes the disarmament of Hamas, the beginning of reconstruction in Gaza, a possible Israeli pullout from parts of Gaza that it still controls, the formation of a new Palestinian government, and the deployment of an international security force that is expected to help enforce this very fragile ceasefire.
And Claudia Sheinbaum said on Sunday that at least 13 people have died in this is in the inter-oceanic train derailment that's taken place in southern Mexico. Officials said that at least 15 people were injured in the accident, which halted traffic along a rail line. The inter-oceanic train linking the states, this is derailed as it passed a curve near the town of Nizanda. Officials say that 241 passengers and 9 crew members were on the train when the accident occurred.
Pues no supimos ni qué pasó, nada más de repente cuando vimos ya estábamos abajo.
And Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese announced a review of the effectiveness of the Commonwealth agencies in the wake of the Bondi terror attack. Now, talking to local media, Albanese said that the former head, whether this is Dennis Richardson, he would be conducting the review. Albanese said that Australia's parliament would resume in 2026, but the review would be finalised by April.
Mr Richardson will assess whether Commonwealth agencies perform to maximum effectiveness. He will consider what these agencies knew about the alleged offenders before the attack, the information sharing between Commonwealth agencies and between Commonwealth and state agencies, what judgments were made and actions taken by agencies, whether there were any additional measures Commonwealth agencies could have taken to prevent the terrorist attack.
A knife attack outside Suriname's capital killed at least 9 people, including 5 children. Officials said that the victims included the attackers' children and neighbours who came to their rescue. Now, neighbours say that the attack began after the suspect, a 43-year-old male, had an argument over the phone with his wife, with whom he no longer lived. Now, the neighbour said that after the suspect's wife said that she would not pick up the children, but would instead send someone else for them, the suspect attacked his kids with a knife and also went after the neighbours in their homes. 2 popular leaders have formed an alliance ahead of the March parliamentary elections. These are the elections that are going to be taking place in Nepal. The alliance is set to challenge the older parties which have dominated the Himalayan nation's politics for over 3 decades. Rapper turned Kathmandu mayor, we're talking about Balindra Shah, a popular elected official, joined the RSP, the Rashtriya Swatantrata Party, and the party is led by a former TV host turned politician. We're talking about Lamechani. And it is Kosovo's acting Prime Minister claiming victory on Sunday after a second attempt this year to elect a government. Kurti's party won an early parliamentary election in the country by a clear margin, near complete. This is as far as the preliminary results have showed. The Self-Determination Party won nearly 50% of the ballots, far ahead of the opposition, the Democratic Party of Kosovo, with 21%. The snap ballot was scheduled after the Self-Determination Party failed to form a government despite winning the most votes as far as the elections that took place on the 9th of February.
I look forward to continue in the 3rd mandate as Prime Minister of the Republic of Kosovo, and I will serve with all my knowledge and ability according to our program and with my excellent team next 4 years. Once the results will be certified by Central Election Commission, we should swiftly constitute a parliament out of 10th legislature and then form immediately new government.
Now, Indonesian rescuers are searching for a Spanish soccer coach, Fernando Martin, and his 3 children after a boat carrying 11 people sank 3 days ago. According to rescuers, they have recovered the body of a female victim believed to be among the family members who were vacationing in the national park area. Rescuers have discovered that the body floating near the northern waters was about 1 kilometer from the site of sinking. Now, the Israeli army withdrew from the town of Kabatia in the West Bank on Sunday in the northern western bank area. Now, it is the Israeli troops that maintain a tight siege on the area for 2 days. During this period, the local economic activities have come to a complete standstill and infrastructure and residents' properties were severely damaged. Palestinian Prime Minister has ordered the government departments to promptly repair the local infrastructure and restore public services. Now, following the death of a 44-year-old Indian origin man who died while waiting for over 8 hours for medical attention in Canada, space and tech billionaire Elon Musk has now slammed the Canadian healthcare system. Replying to a post on X which highlighted the plight of Prashant Srikumar, Musk has called the Canadian medical care inefficient and the government healthcare was not up to the mark. He compared it to the US Motor Vehicle Department, which is criticized by many for its inefficiency. Srikumar was taken to the hospital with a suspected cardiac arrest and unfortunately died after waiting for over 8 hours and not getting the treatment that he needed. The Ministry of External Affairs also took note of the incident and asked for the concerned authorities to take responsibility. Additionally, we have a GoFundMe fundraiser campaign that has now been launched in order to support the family of the victim.
The death of a person of Indian origin, Prashant Srikumar, in Edmonton in Canada, while waiting for 8 long hours to see a doctor, has sent shockwaves across Canada and sparked a fierce debate once again on the crippling healthcare system in the country. Overstretched and under-resourced, a system that is failing to meet the demands of the population. With this, there is a renewed call rather, for cutting of red tape to prioritize critical patients as well as for more medical accountability and responsibility. The government of Alberta has ordered a review into the matter. The Minister for Hospital and Surgical Health has asked 2 agencies to conduct a joint probe into the factors and the circumstances leading to the death of the 44-year-old man. The Premier of Alberta, Danielle Smith, while extending condolences to the family, has also promised a review. Meanwhile, the Canadians are once again demanding better public health care and more investment and expenditure by the government, while making it more affordable, also making it efficient. Amidst the debate around public healthcare, ironically, Elon Musk has also jumped into the debate, saying and comparing rather the Canadian healthcare system to a DMV, suggesting that it is inefficient and bogged down by bureaucracy.
And it's South Korean president who has apologized to the families of the 179 people who died in the air crash a year ago. Now, the president has promised to reveal the truth behind the worst aircraft accident that has taken place on the country's soil. The relatives of the victims have demanded answers about the accident after investigators delayed releasing a report on what went wrong when the jet slammed into an embankment at the end of the runway. Now, according to local authorities in China's Taiwan region, no severe damages occurred amid the earthquake in Taiwan. The 6.6 magnitude earthquake hit the waters, and this is what authorities have issued. They have gone ahead and issued alerts. These are warnings of aftershocks and urged residents to evacuate. Now, if they found structural damage to their homes, though reports so far there are no reports of casualties or property damage that have been released yet. But affected rail services have resumed and no trains or flights were delayed or cancelled as far as this earthquake is concerned. Russia's capital has now gone ahead and furnished itself this year in lush and intricate New Year's decorations. The iconic promenade, this is the Arbat promenade that has been filled with giant mandarins, a traditional New Year fruit from the Soviet times, and we have the Moscow visitors there that can even find that they can really find out as to how many mandarins they in fact weigh. Colossal Christmas crystal balls have popped up as well, and this is on the legendary Garden Ring while Christmas fairs have opened throughout the capital, with the biggest one outside the Kremlin.
Здесь видно, куда именно эти деньги были направлены. И когда я смотрю на то, что делают вокруг, чувствуется то, что это действительно стоит того, чтобы, во-первых, вложить сюда деньги, потому что это большая радость для людей праздновать Новый год в каком-то общественном месте среди других людей. И лично у меня складывается потрясающее впечатление праздника.
And it's South Korea's biggest online retailer. We will be getting you all those details about that retailer on the other side of this very short break. Welcome back. Now we have news coming out of South Korea, and its biggest online retailer, Coupang, has announced compensation worth more than $1 billion to customers affected by its data breach. The retailer said that it would start offering vouchers worth up to $35 to each of its 33.7 million customers. Coupang is reeling from the fallout of the data breach, which prompted a government probe and disrupted the lives of millions across Korea. The founder, Kim Bom, apologized for the leak and faced criticism for failing to attend parliamentary hearings. The latest edition of the Globe Soccer Awards were held in the United Arab Emirates, and its Portuguese superstar footballer Cristiano Ronaldo was recognized as the best Middle Eastern player for his performance in the Saudi Pro League. The icon has mentioned his fiancée Georgina Rodriguez as his wife in his acceptance speech.